Well, it's time for the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Game Chronicles, and boy, this one is good. So overall, the entire series, it is episode 5, but concerning the following Virtuous arc, this is episode 3, and it is the longest by far, being 7 minutes long, but of course, you know, like 6 minutes total with credits. So we pick up right where we left off after Albaz has transformed into Brigand in order to protect an unconscious Ecclesia, surrounded by all the Dogmatica troops, and also the Tri-Brigade just showed up. Dogmatica Ashion, that is like the commander's name, he gives the order to proceed to attack Albaz, and the Tri-Brigade, led by Ferrijit with their guns drawn, step in, and you know, the fight breaks out. And I gotta say, this is pretty good, very action-packed, and a good amount of the episode is this. I think it's pretty well animated, of course. The stuff on the ground, at least, is not, you know, huge, amazing Sakuga all the time, but it is pretty well done. But a good amount of it continues the fight in the air between Fleur-de-Lis and Shireg, which, by the way, is using 3D animation, and I think that fits really well for Yu-Gi-Oh! For one thing, a good amount of these designs actually do a good job at translating into 3D, as we see in like things like Mates and Master Duel, but of course just the way that they're handling this blends it pretty seamlessly. You can still tell when something is 3D because of the way it moves, but they still manage to fit into the anime world, especially for things during like close-ups or other shots they do go back to 2D animation. The 3D stuff just definitely makes more sense when you have like these complicated designs moving in a 3D space, very fast-paced. But I do like how we see some of the differences in how the Tri-Brigade fight, with Shireg flying into the clouds for some cover and sending out one of the Mercurier as a distraction in order to sneak up behind Fleur-de-Lis and get a good shot at her. Though the fight continues and she can really take a hit, that is until she hears a voice and is ordered to fall back. And good thing too, because honestly I don't know if Shireg could have lasted much longer. Meanwhile, back on the ground the fight continues there, and when a blast is fired toward the unconscious Ecclesia, Brigand steps in to take the shot and defend her. Seemingly a bit to the confusion of Ashion, but not much more happens as they're all ordered to fall back as well. And this is where we get a bigger hint that something is not right, as all the troops just get back up and snap all their bones into place and walk away. So yeah, I really wonder how much longer the Tri-Brigade could have held out currently in their current form. And again, with Ecclesia unconscious and Albaz, you know, maybe not necessarily fully ready for a big fight. And Albaz transforms back into his regular form. Shireg shows back up, and they're sent another Mercurier from Nerval, who we haven't really seen a whole lot of. We saw Nerval sneaking around like in the first episode, but probably when they get back to base camp, they'll all catch up. And our two heroes are going to get to join as Shireg gives the order to take them with them. The final scene has Ecclesia waking up without her armor inside a tent. I wonder if they had to just leave all the armor back in the city, because I know that, you know, later in the story she's not necessarily going to keep it. When she steps outside, she's met by Ferrijit, who wants to talk, and that is where the episode ends. And I think this was a really good one, and that's also a great point to stop it for now. You know, a very good cliffhanger as we move into a completely different setting. Some of the character designs are about to change, and when we really start getting into the meat and potatoes of some of the lore and the conflict going on, you know, especially following the last two episodes that were taking place inside the city. I know I wasn't all that high on the last episode because it really did feel like the in-between point or the connecting point between episode 1 and this episode, but now that everything has kind of come together in this first little section, yeah, I think it's great so far. I believe we're getting about 5 more episodes, and so far the pace is going pretty well. We're probably going to have to pack a lot more into the next few episodes, but you know, who knows, maybe they'll get even longer. I really can't wait until the Fallen and Virtuous arc is complete and we can just watch every episode back to back all together. And by that point, if everything continues at this rate, we're gonna get like at least 40 minutes of the entire storyline. So almost a movie, technically. But yeah, this one's great. Like I said, I think the first episode of this arc overall is probably the best in the entire series at the moment. But this one I felt overall did a better job at carrying the quality. Again, we are only getting 1 episode a month, but you really do need to look at it as one complete story. So let me know what you think in the comments about this episode, what was your favorite part, and if you're excited for the next one. Yeah, you probably noticed here on the channel things have been a lot slower. This is kind of the only thing I'm doing. I've had a really busy summer, lots of traveling, and a lot of the focus that I do put into YouTube is obviously for the main channel. Because I was just at Pokemon World Championships, there's a brand new game coming out in 2 months, and the channel is hopefully on course to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So hopefully you can understand, but I still really do love Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm really excited for it, and I'm ready to get back into some more content. I'll work on some things. But for now, I am really enjoying doing these episode discussions. Anyway, this is Gatorex. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.